Okie dokie, people. Here we are working on your quantitative practice. And so the first thing you want to do, I've got Canvas opened up in the student view, and you want to go into this week's work, and let's see, these are your assignments. Here's the video links, and here is the PowerPoint on cost, volume, profit. So you want to open that up. So I'm going to close down, stop the recording for a sec, and come back when I've got the PowerPoint open, okay? Okay, here we go. We are all set up now. I've got my PowerPoint up here. I've got my practice sheet down here. And the first thing I want to note with this PowerPoint is it's 98 pages long. This is the chapter PowerPoint for a managerial accounting chapter on cost, volume, profit analysis. And in an ideal world, I would have edited it and made it shorter for you, but there's just no time for that. So I put up the videos that I made for it, which are somewhat edited, but this PowerPoint itself is pretty big. So our first challenge is going to be to figure out how to find the page in the PowerPoint that gives us our formula for calculating this stuff. So the way, and I'm doing this cold, you guys, I haven't practiced this or anything. I don't know what I'm going to find in here, but if you go like that on the slide sorter button, it'll give you, look at that, it gives you all the slides sort of in thumbnail. And so here we have one that says how to calculate the break-even point in units. So let's take a look at that one, page 20. Okay, calculate the number of mowers. So we've got to have our, there it is. So this is page 19. So this is our formula that we're using, the basic cost, volume, profit equation. Now I get to try to use my iPad here. So we start with our profit equation, our profit formula. Why isn't this working? Follow pen. So we know that profit is going to be equal to price times units minus variable cost times units minus fixed cost. So this is our profit formula, by the way, and a couple of the homework questions actually ask you for this. Okay. And then let's take a look, see. Okay, so we are asked to calculate the break-even point in units here with our example from this lawnmower company. And basically, the break-even point is the point at which profit is 0. So the way that you would calculate any break-even point, you'd say 0 equals price times units minus variable cost times units minus fixed cost, right? So in our lawnmower example here, they have you go through it, and here is the write-up for how to go through it. So if we solve out this equation to make it a little bit simpler, we want to solve for units, right? So we want to basically take and say, if we take the fixed cost over here, right, we can say fixed cost equals price minus variable cost, in a parenthesis there, times units, right? And if we want to solve for units, we take the units and leave them over on this side of the equation. So our units now are fixed costs over price minus variable costs. That's our units where we get to break even. And so that is basically how you derive this little formula here. So we now have what we need to go ahead and start with the homework here. So let's make this a little smaller. Make that a little bigger so we can see what we're doing. Okay, and I'm going to erase everything on this page except for the profit formula. And then we'll write our little break-even formula on this page here. So we have break-even units are equal to total fixed cost over contribution margin. And remember the contribution margin, which is price minus variable cost. Okay. All right, here we go. So TEW, that stands for me, Tammy Elizabeth Warner Company, sells a single product, a food basket that friends and family can purchase for college students. This product, called the Examorama, sells for $20 per basket. And the variable cost is $8 per basket, and the total fixed cost is $25,000 per year. So we can just use this formula here, in my messy handwriting. So our units, our break-even units, is 25,000 over the contribution margin, which is 20 minus 8. Okay. And so if you solve that out, you use your calculator and solve it out, you get to 2,083.33 units. Okay. Simple as can be. The profit equation is 20 times units minus 8 times the units minus 25,000. Okay. Pretty simple, huh? Next one. We are selling shower rings. Shower curtain rings at $2.60 a box. The variable cost is $2.10 a box, and the fixed costs are $20,000 per year. Okay, so our price is $2.60, and our variable cost is $2.10, and our fixed cost is $20,000. I'm going to leave the profit equation formulation to you. What's our break-even point? Our break-even is going to be 20,000, which is our total fixed cost, divided by 0.5, right? So 20,000 over 0.5 is going to be 40,000 units. So it's going to take us 40,000 of these things to break even. Now, what would total profit be if we sold $500,000 or 500,000 boxes? So total profit is going to be, we'll say $2.60 times 500,000 minus 210 times 500,000. I'm sorry, $2.10 minus 20,000, which is, if you solve that all out, it comes to 230,000. Oops. 230,000. So that's how you do that. And now the next one, how many boxes of shower curtain rings would bathtub rings have to sell to earn $50,000 of profit? Now, for this one, you can approach it in a couple of different ways. Okay. One is you can actually do the formula in algebra. So you could say 50,000 equals $2.60 times X minus $2.10 times X minus 20,000, and solve for X that way doing the algebra. Or if we look in the PowerPoint, there is a slide here that tells you how to how to calculate the break-even point, or not the break-even point, the target, yeah, here it is, the units and sales dollars needed to achieve a target income. So there is a formula here. So if you rearrange these terms, you come up with the following formula, which is the units for the target income equals the fixed costs plus the target income over the contribution margin. And so in this case then, we've got, let's see, our fixed costs were 20,000. Our target income was 50,000. And our contribution margin was 50 cents. So this is 70 to, basically multiplied by 2, so that's 140,000 units is required to sell to earn $50,000 in profit. Now this video is getting a little long. My cat has started making noise. My heating system has started making noise, so I'm going to shut this down for a minute and come back with a second video for you.